In this drawing, we will review the intrinsic muscles of the foot, as well as reference some of the longer tendons coming from the leg that are associated with these muscles. The intrinsic muscles of the foot can be divided up into 4 layers, but please note that some muscles from the deeper layers can often be seen through gaps in the more superficial layers. We will start with the deepest layer first, referred to as the 4th layer, which is primarily made up of the interossei muscles. The dorsal interossei arise from the sides of the shafts of adjacent metatarsal bones and insert into the dorsal digital expansions of toes 2 through 4. The plantar interossei arise from the medial aspect of the shafts of the metatarsal bones 3 through 5 and then insert into the medial side of the dorsal digital expansion of toes 3 through 5. At this level, we can also see the distal ends of some of the longer tendons from the leg: tibialis posterior and fibularis longus. Layer 3 of the intrinsic muscles includes adductor hallucis and 2 short toe flexors. Adductor hallucis has 2 heads: a transverse head, which arises from the part of the deep transverse metatarsal ligament that is associated with toes 3 through 5, and an oblique head that arises from the bases of metatarsal bones 2 through 4. The 2 heads converge and insert into the lateral side of the base of the proximal phalanx of the big toe. Flexor hallucis brevis originates from the plantar or inferior surface of the cuboid and lateral cuneiform. It has 2 heads which travel towards the big toe, and each head embraces a sesamoid bone before inserting into the plantar aspect of the base of the proximal phalanx of the big toe. Flexor digiti minimi brevis comes from the base of the 5th metatarsal bone and partly from the tendon of fibularis longus. It inserts into the lateral side of the base of the proximal phalanx of the 5th toe. Next, we have layer 2. This layer is comprised of 2 longer tendons and 2 muscles that are associated with one of these tendons. Here is the tendon of flexor hallucis longus, and here we have the tendons of flexor digitorum longus. Quadratus plantae, also called flexor accessorius, arises from the medial surface of the calcaneus and the lateral process of the calcaneal tuberosity. It then travels forward to insert into the lateral surface of the flexor digitorum longus tendon. The lumbricals arise from the flexor digitorum longus tendons. They travel anteriorly and superiorly and insert into the medial side of the dorsal digital expansion of the lateral 4 toes. We now reach the most superficial layer, layer 1. This layer includes flexor digitorum brevis and the 2 abductors. Abductor hallucis comes from the medial process of the calcaneal tuberosity and inserts into the medial side of the proximal phalanx of the big toe. Abductor digiti minimi arises from both the medial and lateral processes of the calcaneal tuberosity and inserts into the lateral side of the proximal phalanx of the 5th toe. Flexor digitorum brevis arises from the medial process of the calcaneal tuberosity and, before inserting, splits around the tendon of flexor digitorum longus and inserts into both sides of the middle phalanx of the lateral 4 toes. Thanks for watching.